What's going on, my friends, and welcome back to the Crypto Catch Up. Of course, your number one place to catch up on crypto. Well, we just got two key pieces of news kind of revolving around crypto, around Bitcoin, that I think are pretty damn good. They show a lot of diversity, and I think it opens up more opportunity than people realize, so I wanted to share it with you today. Now, don't forget, I will be back home in my normal habitat to some degree in a couple of days here, still out on a family vacation, but nonetheless, still getting the videos done for you all. Now, what we got, two pieces of news, both again revolving somewhat around Bitcoin and crypto in general, is that one, Venmo has now just allowed users to start purchasing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies through MoonPay, which of course is pretty decent news, right? Not the biggest news ever, but pretty decent news. Venmo currently has 60 million active users. I don't know the age group that a lot of you guys are in, but people like my age, between 20, 25 years old, we use this basically for everything, and really got popular when I was in like the later end of high school and college. And so obviously, it's already something that many people, especially within my age group, are comfortable with whenever it comes to finances. One thing that I've said rather consistently is that sometimes these different companies, they'll integrate crypto into their services, but they're not like a financial based company, right? If you're like some random like cellular service provider or like VPN or whatever, I'm not going to buy crypto through you. That's so weird. Like, I don't trust you from a financial perspective. No, the best options for companies that are going to start integrating crypto are the ones that already provide financial services, because people trust them with their money, which is probably, if not the highest form of trust. So that's number one, and that's important. Now, the second piece of news that we got today that I wanted to talk about was the fact that Morgan Stanley just released through an SEC filing that they hold roughly $260 to $270 million worth of Bitcoin through a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, there's really not much need to explain why this is so important. Clearly, Morgan Stanley is one of the biggest banks within the sector. And not only are they one of the biggest banks in the sector, but they serviced one of the highest percentages of wealthy clients of all banks in the sector. Not the highest, but they're up there. And the reason why that's so important is because whenever you are going to see them starting to integrate spot Bitcoin ETFs, not only within their own holdings, but in the different services in which they offer and some of the different things in which they do for their clients, it shows that they are starting to open that door for their wealthiest investors, and likely, your 50, 60, 70-year-olds for the most part, to start also being able to step their way into the world of crypto through some of the services that Morgan Stanley offers. So not only are they just holding as a company, but we are likely seeing that trickle into some of the different things in which they offer. Again, it's one of the biggest pools of wealthy investors of the banking sector. Now, both of these pieces of news, in my opinion, are very big, not only just because clearly it brings on more adoption from one perspective and then more investors from another perspective, but it just goes to show the progress that we've made as a community, if you want to call it that, since 2021. You think back of 2021 and what it took for us to get, to $70,000, $65,000, whatever dollar Bitcoin. It really took a shit ton of retail investors. It took stimulus. It took people having more money than they've ever had in their life, being literally given money to get to that point. And it was almost solely reliant on retail investors. And the type of news that we've been getting recently has been so well diversified across the board that it puts us in a spot to which this world of crypto, this crypto sphere, has become much more diversified, but not only that, but much more mature, right? We're not solely just relying on retail investors, which aren't really there right now, but we're also not just solely relying on ETFs and these wealthy investors to make this happen. The goal of crypto is to be decentralized. The goal of crypto is to be the currency or the store of value of the people, a use for the people. And by that means the smallest people to the biggest people. And we're finally seeing crypto kind of reach the goal that we've actually had and that we've seen kind of been the goal for 10, 15 years. And so because of that, I really, really do love to see the fact that we're not just seeing, again, this market truly relying on big investors, small investors, medium investors at all. We're seeing it from all walks of life starting to become much more, kind of just adopted to some degree. And that is a fantastic news in my opinion, because if there's a time where retail's struggling, maybe your wealthy investors are doing fine, or maybe if the wealthy are going through some type of problems, which highly doubt it, but you never know, maybe retail can carry the weight of this market like we did back in 2021. And it also makes me excited just to think about the fact that right now, although retail is being catered to, retail's not back yet. And so think about all this progress and all of these developments that we're seeing in the world of crypto right now. This is purely just from an ETF perspective. I mean, this is just your high institutional investors getting us up here. Retail's not back. And so it makes me think, what happens when they do come back? $90,000, $100,000, $120,000 Bitcoin seems very likely when you have retail also supporting this market in upwards direction. And so because of those things, I thought this was pretty big news. I want to just kind of share my thoughts and opinions on diversity and stuff with you. You guys know my whole goal here on the Crypto Catch Up is to just keep you as caught up as possible. So when there's things that are happening in the news, when something that's happening with major price charts and technicals, fundamental perspectives, I will try to share it here with you. Again, I will be home in a couple of days and we'll be able to look at the charts a little bit more, look at some of the technicals, look at the fundamentals. But I hope you guys do enjoy getting to hear a little bit more of my opinions as we just sit down and kind of chat here. So let me know down in the comments below, do you like these types of vids or we just kind of sit and chat? I'd love to hear from you down there, and I can't wait to catch up with you all next time. Peace out, everybody.